Here we are, day 3 of this build. You know what's funny is I'm trying to cram just about as much work as I put into Red Mist. Well, maybe not as much, but I'm putting quite a bit of time into this build in a very short amount of time. I mean, I'm working all day and most of the night to get this done, like I said, because I don't want to be down very much. But a couple of things happened since my last video, so let's go ahead and talk about that. Here we go, guys, day 3 of Project Skunkworks. Now there's a lot of time going into this build in such a short amount of time. See, with Red Mist, I got to work on it for a few hours and then walk away from it for days at a time, depending on what my workload was. But this computer is my workload, so I've been working day and night on this thing. So I'm cramming about as much work as I did in 2 months on Red Mist into about 4 days here. Yeah, I got to take a long enough break last night to go enjoy some fireworks and some skydivers and some aerial flybys and stuff over at the 4th of July celebration at the University of Redlands. And then from there, I came back home, went to bed, woke up, and here we are again. So let's go ahead and talk about what's changed since part 2. Okay, so here's where we left off. We got the upper rad. Unfortunately, we couldn't do the push-pull as we mentioned, but that's okay. Lower rad installed. There's the reservoirs we'll be doing today. But you know, these labels, or these logos right here, on all the fans, I hate Corsair's logo. And I don't want it anywhere near this build. In fact, the entire logo just clashes because it's white. And everything has that logo, all the fans. So I've got some 3M Dynoc carbon fiber paper, or sticker paper. People use this on cars and stuff. And I basically took an 1.5 inch scrapbooking hole punch, or round punch, and punched out 1.5 inch stickers here that I can now stick onto the fans, and as you can see, they will cover up quite nicely on there. So I won't have to look at these logos going around anymore. We'll have some nice carbon fiber in there. So I cut enough of them to do the front of all the fans that show, and then fronts and backs of the other fans. So as you can see right there, if it's not too blurry, so it's going to cover up all those logos like that, so we won't have to look at that crap anymore. So let's go ahead and get these things stuck on and see how it looks. Now the reason why I'm doing this is not like I hate Corsair or anything like that. I mean, I have some things I don't like about Corsair, but their fans are not, their logos and their stickers are not centered on the fan. So when the fan is spinning, you see that, how it's all off balance, and that bothers me. Now here's one I just put my sticker on right there, and you can see that when it spins, that is a lot more desirable than the one on the right. In fact, it's a little bit shimmery even. It looks kind of neat. So yeah, I'm not a fan of that at all. Well, it set me back about 2 hours in the time it took to go and get the circle punch from the craft store and stuff. But I think it was time well spent. Not having those white Corsair logos just made everything look so much cleaner. Alright, so today we're working on getting, well, I guess, done. So we're going to get the reservoirs mounted, we're going to get the hardline ran, and I've got a pretty cool way of doing this, I think. I think it's going to look fantastic the way I'm going to do this. So we've got our holes marked right there for being able to know where to put the pass-through fittings, and then I've got to yank all this out so I can drill in there without actually getting metal shavings everywhere. And then, so I don't know exactly what I'm going to do next. I guess hand gestures are cool. Well, we'll just go ahead and do it and figure out what happens next. One other thing too, I forgot to mention what came in the mail today. My Lutro Customs round SATA cables. 2 in yellow and 2 in black, as well as some fan extensions. So yeah, these are going to really add to the look of the build, these round SATAs. I love round cables, they're so much easier to route. So yeah, that's going to look good in there too. Okay, I've removed the motherboard and everything out of there, the bottom rad. It's a pretty gutted case now, because we're going to drill some holes. Okay, so the pass-through fittings are installed. These 2 are for the GPU, and you'll notice this one's slightly off to the side and not quite as linear as those. You'll see why in a minute, why that fitting is slightly off. But I think you guys are going to like it. Now I'm going to get the reservoirs mounted so I can get these pass-through fittings done, and then we can start actually plumbing up the hard line. Alright, so I put the motherboard and the graphics cards back in for a test fit, and you can see how these fittings right here are going to pass straight through into the bottom through these pass-through fittings, and then they're going to be tubed up down there. But I think you can see now what this one was, is for the CPU loop, I'm going to have an extremely efficient just one tube out and down through there. So there's going to be 3 tubes coming down here, and then 1 tube going from the inlet there to the rad. And the rest of the rad stuff's going to be behind the motherboard tray. So the only thing visible over here is going to be these tubes right here. And it's going to look really good, I think. So now I've got to get my reservoirs ready to go. And I'm just going to basically boring mount them to the back wall because I'm too lazy to do anything custom there. So I'm using this T-square. It's not really a T, but using this square ruler right here with my leveler and stuff, and we're just going to be marking out the holes there to make sure everything is straight and squared. So time to mount the reservoirs, do their pass-through fittings, and then we can get started down here. Alright, there we go. Now the reservoirs are installed. Nothing exciting here really, it's just mounted to the back wall. Now I got to do the fittings and the pass-throughs, 1, 2, 3, 4 more of them. It's hard to drill into this aluminum. Even though it's aluminum, it's really thick, and it feels like drilling into steel, but it's not. It's just Case Labs uses such high quality aluminum that it actually takes a lot of effort to drill through this. I mean, you can kind of see how thick it is if you look right here. When you see that right here, you can kind of see how thick this it is. Actually pretty thick. It's not just that thin crap that main manufacturers use in mass production. This is all built by, well, pretty much to order. Alright, so I got the lower pass-throughs done for the reservoirs right here, and I realized something. I was doing my counts based on red mist, and I forgot on red mist I only had 1 tube on each reservoir going through the ground right there. And so I'm off by 2 fittings. So I'm 2 fittings short to finishing this build. So now I've got to do a rush order with frozen CPU, and the soonest it will get here is mid next week. So getting this thing done this weekend is not an option, but I can get pretty much everything done except for 2 of those fittings. So I'm going to keep going anyway, but man, just the importance of checking, double checking, and counting and counting and counting again. I can't even stress how important it is, and I'm mad right now because now I have to pay rush order and expedited shipping for something I already bought from the same company a few weeks back. So alright, well, like I showed, now that I have all the pass-throughs done, these are the 2 fittings that are missing right there. Oh, it's so painful. Anyway, you can see it all coming together now. It's looking pretty dang nice. Started getting my pass-throughs down here fitted out. I use chrome or nickel-plated fittings down here on the bottom where they don't really show for the soft tubing that's going to go to the back and plumb up down here because it's cheaper for my sponsor to send me these. This Bits Power was obviously not sponsored, but that's mine there. But I'm also getting this one here ready to go. So I'm going to start getting some of the work down here on the bottom ready to go. Some of these tubes connected that I can do now without mounting the pumps, and then I think I'm going to be done here for a bit. Starting to get kind of tired, and since I know I can't be done till mid next week now, I guess I'm not in that big of a rush anymore. Okay, so I'm pretty much done for the day. Just kind of show you how the loop is going to go now. So this reservoir right here is for the graphics card, or graphics cards. This reservoir right here is going to be for the CPU. Now you can see under the bottom here, I had showed you earlier, I had some black fittings here. Those have been changed out for the 45 in chrome right here. Like I said, I don't care that they're chrome because they don't show. So that I started to plumb right there. Now let's go ahead and show you how the loop is going to run. And I think this is going to look really sleek because hardly anything is going to show. Now, graphics card is going to, this is the graphics card's GPU, or the GPU loop. God, I can't even talk, my brain is so fried from all the work today. So it's going to come down through here, and that's going to feed into the pump. The pump is going to go out to the radiator, which is going to be over here. A radiator is going to go out to here, this guy right here. It's going to go up through the cards in parallel, come back out, and then go all the way around and up into there. Now the middle guy here is the CPU loop, and it's going to go right through here, through into the pump. It's going to go out of the pump, behind the motherboard tray through soft tubing into the radiator. It's going to come out of the radiator, down over straight into there. It's going to come out of there, come straight down through that fitting, and then through that fitting it's going to meet up over here with this guy. And in fact, I might have to make this a 90, an extension and a 90 like I did there, so it can go straight across up into the reservoir and then back through. So that's going to be the loop. So anyway, guys, I'm pretty much done. Oh, and there's the Luco custom SATA cables installed. I think they look pretty hot. So there it is. It's starting to look more like Stealth Mist instead of Skunk Works, but either way, I like the way it's turning out. Alright, so we're done for today. I'm going to order up the fittings, and then hopefully we'll be done by Wednesday of next week. Probably tomorrow I'll mount the pumps or something like that. Not sure if I'll grab the video camera for that, simply because it's such a simple thing to do. But guys, it's been part 2 of Project Skunkworks. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I've got some other little custom things in store for this, just tiny little things that I think will make a difference. But as always, guys, follow on Twitter. You can see some Instagram photos of this on Instagram as it's happening, and I will see you guys in the next one.